Hello and welcome to the Random Wrestling Review Plays TEW2020, and we are, of course, on our Local to Global series, episode 32 for you today. We're deep into this series and a long, long way from the end. We're into March 1999, and it's been a funny old couple of months, really, for the company because we are continuously kind of rebuilding our roster and then losing talent, and very often the talent we're losing are the ones we're bringing in. So our roster feels like it's getting a little bit, maybe a tiny bit stale. And actually, I felt that quite a bit when I was booking this next event, or in terms of planning for this next event anyway. In terms of what that event is going to be, that's a really good question because I have not thought up a name for it, to be honest. So what do we call it? We've already done two tribes, haven't we, as a thing, and we kind of got that's going to be our theme for this next episode. Sorry, this next event, because we're going to go with another sort of big multi-man tag team confrontation. I'm going to call it RWR Converge because everything is converging into this one match, or at least a bunch of stuff is converging into this one match. It is going to be another special, of course, booking on a Friday. Just checking our availability for that one. Oh, yes, that's right. I need to book this one for the Sunday, don't I? Because of the Shadows involvement for ECWA. So either our Converge might be the first of a number of shows that start taking place on Sundays for this company. Before we progress to the show, though, we need to sign some people. And I've decided to go with two wrestlers that I looked at before and I thought, you know what, we need to bring them in. So first of all, we're going with Billy Kidman. He's coming in on the babyface side, and CM Punk is going to come in on the heel side. We're taking the plunge this month, bringing in two really, in real life names, although in the game world, actually not names at all. So hopefully that means we get a bit of a run with both in the company. I guess we'll find out reasonably soon. You'll also see here that I have got C.W. Anderson preparing to turn babyface, which, we'll see how that goes, given that it's going to be another one of those sudden babyface turns. So let's move on. We're not going to get to the show just yet because obviously CM Punk and Billy Kidman will sign with us, and they're going to face each other in our next event in what the company is going to call an earn a contract match. So basically, CM Punk will face Billy Kidman with the winner getting a contract. I've no idea how that's going to play out for the loser, in terms of because to I want them to also stick around. So I don't know how we're going to kind of do the story where basically the person who loses manages to stay with the company beyond that loss. But that's part of the fun of doing this series is that you put yourself in situations and you need to sort of book yourself out of it. Looks like Paul Bearer is going to extend his contract with the WWE. Let's just check for absolute definite. I've put that latest show in, so it's going to happen in 10 days' time. This is what we need to do. So we've got CM Punk working heel, doing a straight edge gimmick. I'm going to keep the straight edge gimmick, even though I don't think it really works for a family friendly promotion such as ourselves. I guess I can stretch the boundaries of that a little bit. And babyface Billy Kidman show stealer, so that's perfect. They are coming in as I need them to do so. And we've got 10 days. So let's go to the next player control show. And whilst we're doing that, let's take a look at the rankings. And just as a reminder for those people who haven't maybe been watching this regularly or from the start and don't know the nature of the ranking. So effectively, what happens here is every single match that takes place in the Random Wrestling Review counts towards the rankings. So you get a victory, and then you get a point for that victory, no matter what that victory is. It could be a 6-man tag match, could be a singles match, could be anything. Then whoever's got the most points at a given point in time is the number one contender. And then they have a match against the champion, and then whoever loses that match, whether it be the champion loses the title or the number one contender loses their attempt at the title, they go down to 0 points and start at the bottom again, and everybody moves up, and then you get another number one contender from there. It's that simple. And this is where it is at the moment. Dave Batista is the current champion, longest reigning champion in company history. I think he's now got 9 title defenses under his belt. Then below them are the current RWR North West Tag Team champions, Keith Hart and Bruce Hart, both on 7 points. Both have been booked very, very favorably from the very get-go. And to be honest, from my perspective, that's been entirely an accident. That was not intended. It just has happened. But obviously, I quite like the fact that despite it not being deliberate, you could very easily imagine a Bruce Hart, being that he is the owner of the company, putting himself forward and booking himself favorably anyway. Then in fourth, we've got Ace Steel with 6 points. Below them, Shadow and C.W. Anderson and Buddy Wayne on 4. Ekmo and Charlie Haas on 3. Chemo on 1. Sean Stasiak on 1. Kid Chaos on 1. And then you've got Barry Buchanan, Dog and Rose all on 0. And they've all been the most recent recipients of a title shot. So with all that being said, we're preparing for this next show. And I'll reveal to you now what the main event's going to be. It's going to be an 8-man tag match. It's going to see Batista, the Hart brothers, and Kid Chaos against Ace Steel, Barry Buchanan, and the Samoan Violence Connection. That's our main event for this one. I decided that there was enough of a crossover between our main event last time, which was Batista and Barry Buchanan, for them to sort of. It just felt like it could be a match that happened. I've got to be honest, this is one of the least inspired main events we've put on, or we've planned for. Sean Stasiak relocates, he's not the only one, although he's gone to Quebec. Keith Hart went to where we're based, so that's interesting. Dave Batista on the rise. This is interesting. Some industry veterans are reported to be very high on Dave Batista. While hardly a household name at the moment, some of the biggest and most respected names in the industry have said that he is one of their picks to be a breakout star in the next few years. So that is interesting and also very worrying, very concerning, given that he is our champion and has been our champion for a very long time. So yes, that's the main event's going to be that 8-man tag match. Let's proceed to the show then, shall we? RWR Converge. And we're going to start with a match between Sean Stasiak and Dog, the Dog of the Bad Crew. I will be honest with you and say that we are in a position now where we are looking to phase out Bad Crew. I think they've been in the company nearly 2 years. Okay, we were looking at letting them go last summer, and then we had the issue where the Public Enemy, or Rocco Rock, sorry, was leaving the company, and we needed to get the tag titles off of Public Enemy, and Bad Crew just happened to be the team that were facing them that month. And so it was that we went with that situation, and they became tag champions, and it meant that it elongated their stay in the company. Well, we are now once again on the road to ridding ourselves of that team. Not that they've been terrible, and actually they have improved since winning those tag team championships, but they are on the way out. Is this going to be the next match? No, this is not going to be the next match. The next match will be that earn a contract match. CM Punk versus Billy Kidman. I think we'll make this 10 minutes. We'll make it an all-out match with a tainted win pinfall victory for CM Punk. So Punk's going to win and earn himself the contract. And that's going to be how that second match goes. We're then also going to have, as you saw just a moment ago, Charlie Haas against, is it Rose? Oh, I always forget which one's which here. It is Rose. This one's not going to be so long. I think we'll make it 7 minutes. And the winner is going to be Rose. due to outside interference by Dog. So a victory for Rose. First time Dog and Rose's records will look different in the game so far. Rose is going to win. Then after the match, we're going to have Dog and Rose attack Charlie Haas. And you will have guessed this by now, C.W. Anderson comes out to make the save. So that's how he's effectively going to turn babyface. Actually, let's make sure we add that road agent note to this one. I had been honestly originally planning to turn C.W. Anderson babyface, and then I started going back and forth in my head about whether they should be babyface or heel, which has resulted in the story that we've been telling with them as of late. And I just decided that, yeah, I just decided that that would be a kind of a good way to go in the end. That story seemed to play out quite well. We're going to end this storyline because obviously this no longer exists. I think we'll keep that in play, shall we, for the moment, seeing as we've got those facing each other. Then there's only one other match on the show that I haven't yet shared with you, which is the Shadow versus Buddy Way. Now, you'll remember from the rankings that both these men have 4 wins. And I'm going to make it a reasonably long one, and the Shadow is going to win. And just wondering how I'm going to do this one, because I quite like this to be. I don't really like pinning Buddy Wayne too many times. I feel like Buddy Wayne is feeling like our version of Tommy Dreamer for ECW. Like he's the original Buddy Wayne. He and Michael Morris were the 2 wrestlers on our first show. Buddy Wayne is still with us. I don't think he's likely to go anywhere else. I don't think he's a particularly sought after individual, but we like him. He's done all right for us. So I don't like pinning him too often because I don't want him to be seen as a loser. But I also want the Shadow to win this one. So I think I'm going to go. I think I'm just going to go with the pin. Yeah, I'm going to go with a pinfall finish. Shadow's going to get a clean victory here. And so all we've got left to book is the 4 versus 4, which is going to see Dave Batista, Bruce Hart, Keith Hart, and Kid Chaos take on Ace Steel, Barry Buchanan, ECMO, Chemo. We'll make it, good 17 minutes, I think, given how many people are in it. The winner is going to be Barry Buchanan, and the loser is going to be Kid Chaos. That's the main reason he's in the match, to be honest, is to take the loss. Slow build, pinfall finish. That's how it's going to go. But I was thinking about another angle, possibly. So we've only got one on the entire show. And the only problem is I don't know how to do it. I'm thinking of something where basically one of the wrestlers on the heel side kind of accuses Bruce of giving himself and his brother more chances and being favored by officials because Bruce owns the company. But I'm starting to wonder and worry that that's too meta for my tastes, to be honest. So I think I'm going to leave it like this. Don't think there's anything else we need to do. I think I will just have a CM Punk promo. Punk celebrates winning a contract, then tells the fans he's going to make RWR his own. That's what we'll do. 4 minutes, not a long one. Just something extra. We haven't got any other promos, and I just felt like, you know, give CM Punk the microphone. I mean, he's good, right? So it would be foolish of us not to take advantage of that. Just looking then, everybody's involved in some way, and yeah, everything else is. Oh no, we need a match at storytelling. So how about we do this one as storytelling? That's what we're going to do, and that should now, yeah, that fulfills everything that we need to do. So let's do it. Let's have RWR Converge. And again, 81 people. So the crowd levels have definitely dropped in the recent last few months because of the fact that the region isn't doing so well, both in terms of wrestling popularity and in terms of the economy. And we have Sean Stasiak against Dog here. Stasiak wins in 8 minutes and 10 seconds by pinfall. Stasiak was typically strong, 34 for him, and Dog only a 21. So perhaps Dog and Rose reverting back to their previous level of quality now they've lost those tag team titles. A segment rating of 33, though, is still a very good way to start the show. After this, CM Punk versus Billy Kim, and the two unknowns, the two wrestlers without any kind of previous exposure in the area. CM Punk wins in 9:55 by pinfall, illegally using the ropes for leverage. Unfortunately, both of their gimmicks came across as poor, so that's a real shame. This one got a segment rating of 25, which is not disastrous, and Punk a 29 in-ring performance, but Billy Kidman just a 14, and that's a real concern. That really is a low in-ring performance. So certainly we're going to have to do something with Kidman if we want to keep him for any length of time, but a really good start for CM Punk. And then after the match, he gets the microphone and improvises well. He talks about the fact that now he's got his contract with the Random Wrestling Review. He's going to make the company his own and show everybody what a real superstar really looks like. So saying we're in a 36, so CM Punk in a good first speaking segment here for himself. And as I said, this was just a chance to get Punk on the microphone. Next up, Charlie Haas against Rose. And in this one, Rose defeated Haas in 6:56 by submission after interference from Dog. Don't know why he had to win by submission. Maybe I accidentally clicked on submission. It should have been a pinfall, really. Charlie Haas's in-ring performance was 26. Rose was 22. Bout dragged in the middle with a lack of flow being noticeable. So segment rating of just 22 here. Then we have the main angle of the night, and it bombed as an angle. Segment rating of 17 here. So basically, what happens is that Dog and Rose attack Charlie Haas after the previous match. C.W. Anderson comes out and makes the save for his partner, and we're going to handle the change right now. Too many of your recent turns have been shocked, with little build-up behind them. The fans are becoming jaded. This turn has suffered as a result, and was a complete disaster, which is a real shame. I should have, as I said, I second guessed myself about turning these guys, about turning C.W. Anderson. As I say, I didn't know whether the tag team was going to be a babyface tag team or a heel tag team, and then so I second guessed myself. If I hadn't done that, I would have been preparing for this heel turn for a few shows at least, and unfortunately, that's not happened. So, nevertheless, segment rating here 17, really, really poor. And C.W. Anderson's babyface turn was a disaster. Who knew? Then the Shadow faced Buddy Wayne, and in a match that went 12:42, Shadow wins by pinfall. This was excellent, though. Segment rating of 38. The Shadow in-ring performance of 35. Buddy Wayne, again, his best in-ring performance, I think, since we got him, since the very beginning of the promotion. 33. Shadow wins, and this was a really, really surprisingly good match, so well done to the Shadow. And then our main event, which was the 8-man tag match, and had great heat and decent wrestling. Steel, Buchanan, and the Samoan Violence Connection defeat Batista, Kid Chaos, and the Hart brothers in 17 minutes, 17 seconds when Barry Buchanan pinned Kid Chaos with an axe kick, In terms of in-ring work, Chemo was head and shoulders above everyone else. You can see there, 43 in-ring performance, so he looks really, really good. Barry Buchanan, 31, A Steel, 31, Dave Batista, 30. Kick-Ass still really poor. The Hart brothers not great either. Kick-Ass was also off his game. The match was a little too long for our audience, so it might have been that if we'd have restricted this to 15 minutes, it could have been a 35, 36 rated main event, but still pretty decent. And it also progresses both the Hearts versus the Samoan Violence connection story, and of course the feud between Batista and Barry Buchanan. And an overall rating of 32, which is a little bit of a disappointment given that we had a 36 rated angle and a 38 rated semi-main event. But I think that Bad Crew, Charlie Haas and C.W. Anderson segment with the disastrous babyface turn for Anderson has brought the rating a little bit down there. In terms of the speech, well, obviously we have to give Chemo praise him for a great performance. I'm also going to praise, though, the two men in the match before that. I thought that, again, Buddy Wayne's second show in a row where he's been really good. I was tempted to give CM Punk some praise there, and I'm sure I will do in the future, but for now, I think that was the right thing to do. You can see here the UWA rising fast, so you can see that they are looking to capitalize on their current success without overreaching and damaging their own long-term prospects. They must recently have moved up a size or a level, because that's the kind of message you get at that point. And I got to be honest, that show, just in terms of what I had planned for it, was, as I say, probably one of the least inspiring we've ever done, because I have to be honest, it was kind of a holdover event until our next one, which is the Lottery Brawl, which is a bigger deal, and a big deal. Let's just have a look at, first of all, Converge was the fourth best show we've ever done, and in terms of matches, it had Shadow versus Bunny Wayne, which is now our fourth best match of all time. The Shadow is really improving at the moment. This is, of course, James Storm under a mask, and he gets another big victory for himself. So we've got the Lottery Brawl to come next, and yeah, so that event was a bit of a holdover for the Lottery Brawl, because I felt like I needed to get to the Lottery Brawl. We've been this sort of I've been in this holding pattern really with a lot of these guys. We've been trying to fill gaps in our roster, and as everybody knows, and actually I'll take you back to the rankings that were before this event. I didn't want Keith Hart or Bruce Hart to face Batista for the title, honestly. Now I'm in a position where Ace, still having won in the main event, is on equal points with Keith and Bruce Hart. And so that means that I can be a bit more, I can get Ace Steel versus Batista into a match. What's more, is a Lottery Brawl is a Royal Rumble style match where the winner gets 5 points. So, I could quite easily push somebody into the main event spots against, to get almost number one contendership, if not number one contendership itself, through winning that match. So I don't actually have any plans for who's going to win. I don't actually have any plans for what will be in the May show. But I just wanted to get through that last event so that we could get the points into a different place, and Ace Steel could be the legitimate number one contender. And as you know, I am desperately trying to live up to the rules of the rankings. I don't want to circumvent them. I don't want to, move away from them. But occasionally, it just means that we've got to be a bit creative with our booking. And in this case, for the first time, I think we've had a kind of a show that was more about, I guess, just getting us from A to B. I like all of our shows to provide something. I felt like this one didn't really provide an awful lot, if I'm perfectly honest with you. We have debuted CM Punk, we have debuted Billy Kim, and that's really important for the company. And in April, of course, it will be the Lottery Brawl, where 15 of the 16, or actually 17 currently members of the roster, because we've got Bruce Hart also wrestling at this point in time, will be involved in that Lottery Brawl. let's have a look before we finish up today's episode. We've got WrestleMania 15 and Uncensored 99 that took place. Let's start with Uncensored because it's less important. Oh my goodness, Hugh Morris defeated Ric Flair for the WCW World Heavyweight title. Hugh Morris is the WCW World Champion. Unbelievable. 97 rated match. I mean, you can't really argue with it. 42,000 in attendance, a show rating of 91, 129,999 pay-per-view buys. In fact, in total, it's more like 250,000 pay-per-view buys if you count the UK and the Mexican. Oh no, that is the combined UK and Mexican pay-per-view buy rate, which is strange because it's not in America. It's not on pay-per-view. But anyway, whatever the case, Hugh Morris is the new World Heavyweight Champion. Also on the show, Scott Hall defeated Sabu in a cell match, an 85 rated match, and Arn Anderson defeated Steve Williams and British Bulldog in a triple threat match, a 92 rated match, and Hogan and Pillman against the Nasty Boys in an 87 rated match, and Sting against Big Bubba Rogers, 80 rated match. So plenty going on at Uncensored, but WrestleMania 15 is the big one. Let's see what happened here. The Undertaker defeated Diesel to retain the world title, 99 rated. Shawn Michaels defeated Bret Hart, 99 rated. Owen Hart defeated Big Show and Rey Mysterio Jr., 99 rated. 3 99 rated matches on one show. That's big time from WWF. 60,000 in attendance, a 95 rated show overall, 3.2 million buys for WrestleMania 15, and The Undertaker maintains his grip on the title. I just want to see, before I go any further, whether or not, where that title's been as of late. So, World Heavyweight is The Undertaker. He defeated Owen Hart back in January. And since then, The Undertaker has defended against Diesel, Goldust, and Diesel again, plus Owen Hart and Big Show in a triple threat match. The Undertaker currently a 2-time world champion. That's interesting because he held it here and obviously was the champion down. It should have been the champion down here. Mark Calloway is credited as the champion down in November 1991. That's curious, but anyway, technically a 3-time world champion now, The Undertaker, after WrestleMania 15. So the game world itself is maintaining a real air of interest. Now, we are not going to bring anybody new in for the first time ahead of the next show. We haven't lost anybody to any other companies. We haven't wanted to get rid of anyone ahead of this show. So I think we've got a clear run at the next event. I'm just going to make sure when it is, because we can no longer run shows on a Friday or a Thursday. And indeed, Sunday week 2 is also off limits. So we're going Monday week 3, which is not. I mean, I didn't really want to have to put a show on Monday, but that is the only one of the few dates in the month where we are free, and we like to run the shows midway through the month. So let's progress to that show because the next show is not complicated in terms of booking it. And as I said, we're not saying anybody else. It's a 15-man battle royal, and that's the whole show. Just a question of who the 2 wrestlers on the roster who we currently have will not compete on that battle royal. That will be something I need to think about in the gap between episodes. But we're nearly up here. I want to thank everybody for watching, especially if you've got this far. And I want to thank those people who've been sending messages and who've been liking the videos and who have recently subscribed to the channel. Please continue to do so. If you are one of the people who haven't yet subscribed, please do so. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. All those things, first of all, help in terms of other people seeing it. But secondly, and perhaps more importantly, just keep me kind of invested in this, knowing that there are people out there that are enjoying the series. That's the biggest motivating factor because I'm enjoying doing it. But I think that but knowing other people are also enjoying it, that really just helps me to just keep going, keep bringing you more of this local to global series and taking it as far as we can, hopefully well into the next millennium. So Yeah, that's what we're looking for. But yeah, again, thank you very much for watching. I'll be back again with another episode very shortly. Until then, thanks for watching.